Welcome to DJNTV and Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe. Now introducing the one and only Ben Stowe.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe, the spot where answers will be questioned and questions will be... No, wait, I got this backwards. Well, maybe questions will be answered and answers will be questioned. I don't know. Could be.
I think it should be.
It should be.
Yeah, I think we should question things, right?
We should.
Yeah, I think that's the fun of engineering. We should question, test, prove, disprove, right? That's the fun of engineering.
Yeah, can these two wires kill me? I need to, no, that's a bad test.
Well, there are things that should be, I mean, the way we test it maybe should be considered.
That would be an important part of it, and we will have to contemplate that one. But tonight's, it is the new format for our Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe show where we have segments going on, and for those of you who have been kind of following our show for the last number of weeks, we start out and our first segment is Ben's Joke of the Week. We'll be right back with that. All right, Ben, what do you have for us for this week?
Well, so we're coming into the holiday season,
yes.
Right? You know, and that brings about a lot of wonderful things. And one of those things is eggnog, and some people's eggnog is a little spiked, a little stronger than others, right? So this comes with a little PSA. If you drink too much eggnog, please don't drive. But anyway, here's our joke. So, what do a DJ and a cop have in common?
I do not know. What do a DJ and a cop have in common?
They both tell drunk people to put their hands up.
Put your hand.
So I know. I'm sorry. I'll see myself out.
I was going to say, wait a second. There's hate email coming from a gentleman from Alan. Is that?
Yeah, I have a lot. You know, it's funny how many there are. A lot of law enforcement officers that are DJs.
There are quite a few. I can think of about 5 or 6 right at the top of my head here. So
yeah. Well, I mean, so excuse me.
That's probably why they're so good at it. Okay, let's jump to our next segment.
This is the season for the cough too. Sorry.
Exactly. Okay. All right, Ben, we've got 2 questions tonight. Our first one is going to be pertaining to hooking up a turntable to a DJ controller, because there's been this kind of push over that retro thing, and some DJs have talked about having that ability to play some vinyl, that they've had people requesting that at their events. So if I'm going to hook up a turntable to my controller, and I haven't done this type of stuff in a number of years, there's line and phono things. What is this? All these things, and what do I need to know to make this work?
Excuse me, I apologize. I blame Boston, by the way. I got sick in Boston, and now I'm in Tennessee, and I'm still sick, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, so basically, let's break it down into 2 signal types to be simple. Let's say that there's line, and then there's mic and phono, and they're not the same thing. But for now, we're just going to set them over here. And the reason is the simplest reason is voltage. So a line audio signal, you know, it could be 1.3 to 1.2 to even 2 volts. So pretty significant amount of electricity when we're thinking about it. Whereas a mic signal might be 2 or 3 thousandths of a volt. And so we've heard, we talked about on the show many times, mic preamps, because we're pre-amplifying that mic level signal to equal a line. And you're probably thinking, well, that's nice, but I asked about phono, not mics. Right. Okay. So phonos similarly can have that, where if we have that signal simply coming from, the needle, if you will, and being vibrated in the grooves and generating a small electric current, then we'll go through a phono preamp. And if you have a fairly traditional turntable, then you may need a mixer or a controller with a phono preamp. And a lot of times these will also be accompanied by a ground, where you'll attach the little ground thing. Now, that's, I think, for our purists and our traditionalists, almost every turntable that I've seen in a long time. And of course, this is not by any coincidence. It kind of comes along with the use of things like time code and whatnot, where maybe we're not really playing a record anymore, right? The turntable is almost more tactile and functional in that sense as opposed to actually playing vinyl. So, and that's not that, you can't necessarily do, both in some of these. Um, but anyway, as a consequence of that, they have a line level output, in which case it's no different than connecting a CD player or any other line level device. So that's the simple version.
So then if a person has like an old, because I remember some of the old turntables only had that phono out, then that's coming out with such a low signal. How would I be able to, say if my controller only had line level inputs, how would a person be able to achieve a sound using those two devices?
Well, you need a phono preamp. I'm going to just quickly hit the interwebs and see if I can find a picture or something that maybe you could do. I didn't put one together. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, Rolls has their VP29. That's as good as any. There's a couple. Let me just see if I can pull that up real quick. So, go to the NLFX site because that's where we should go, right? So,
and for those of you wondering, that link is in the description of tonight's video, so you can go check that right out. As far as NLFX.
Yeah, look at this. All right, let's go share. Oh. It's not letting me share my screen.
Oh, is there
let's see, why not?
Let me try making, if I do that, did that help? Oh, you changed your back.
Okay. Just give me a quick second here, and I apologize.
Yeah.
Apple has decided to change some security settings on me, so something must have updated. Well, I wasn't paying attention. All right, so here we go on the NLFX website, yada, yada, yada. So here we can see this is the VP29 phono preamp, and what you can see here, let's just open this image in a new tab. Can you see that tab?
Yeah, no, we can see it all. Yep.
And so here we can see, just exactly like we talked about. You can see that input and then that output is preamped, and we've got our grounding connection and all that. So ground symbol. So there it is. I mean, basically, this device would then allow you to interface between a traditional turntable and any stereo unbalanced line level device.
Nice. Excellent.
And it's a whopping $59 with free
$60.
shipping.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
And then if you get a couple of rolls of gaff tape, you'll be even cooler.
Yes, you will.
That would be awesome. All right, let's jump to our next segment. All right, Ben, what do you got for us for this week's photo?
Well, I feel like I've mentioned this before, John, this particular analogy, but it reared its head again. And in the spirit of, what really grinds my gears, so to speak, I want to talk a little bit about the Harvest of Sound, and in particular, the speaker shootout that we did. And I want to clear a little air, and I also kind of want to stomp my feet a little bit. So let me just let's pull this up here. So hopefully you see a picture of a cat drinking out of a toilet right now.
Yeah, not.
And you're probably wondering what in the heck
that I am. I'm indeed wondering if we're learning new skills. If this is what happens to DJs late at night.
Well, I mean, if you can balance your back feet on a toilet and drink out of the bowl, that certainly is a skill. But you're probably not an apex level predator like a cat. Anyway, so let's talk about what I'm really going for here. So the Harvest of Sound is an event that got put together several years ago by a few DJs that just really wanted to know what happens when we do a fair shootout between this speaker and that speaker. And it really was just an informal gathering, and they reached out to me for technical assistance. And the short version is that led to me getting on a plane and going to Boston. So, it's kind of like I started explaining all the things they would have to do, and their jaws kind of hit the floor. And I'm like, you know what? Never mind. I'll just fly out there. So, now, of course, several years later, this has turned into kind of a conference, and you got all kinds of fantastic speakers, and they have a few exhibitors and those sorts of things. And again, you're still wondering, what in the world does that have to do with the cat? Fine. Well, because we did this shootout, and more on that in a second. And it has created so much. I think the word is engagement, but that's a nice way of saying there's been just outright, fights on the internet over this. The testing we did this year was blind, meaning nobody knew what they were voting for when they voted for a speaker. They were purely voting based on what they heard and not their logo that they saw. And by the way, all the judges, I think, were really satisfied with the outcome, surprised. But of course, when the results get posted, people who weren't there had no sense of what went on, just saw that their speaker lost, kind of threw a fit.
Mm.
You know? And there was a lot of insinuations and accusations, and it went both ways, and it went back and forth. And I just thought, okay, now you know what? Let's get to the cat. My cat is incredibly spoiled. My cat has a little watering dish that has a filter, and it circulates the water and aerates it and keeps it moving and tasty and all that. And I don't know what my wife spent on this, but and my cat will walk past this water dish with water cleaner than 90% of the world's population gets and go drink out of the toilet. And I think, what the hell is wrong with you? And honestly, I'm kind of having the same feeling about some of these DJs. So much good information and content has been put forth in such a well-intentioned and meaningful format, and all they want to do is complain about it.
Mm-hmm.
It just blows my mind. So anyway, moving on. So every manufacturer was invited, and there was no cost, zero cost to attend. Some were even begged. I know this for a fact because the guys from Harvest of Sound said, hey, these guys won't even call us back. And I'm on the phone hammering away on some of these manufacturers like, look, don't you at least want to be in there? Now, if you declined, if you said, we know we're not going to do well, we'd rather not. I said, well,
fair.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, that's fair. Yep.
But anyway, most jumped at it. Different companies have been the sponsor of the conference over the years. This year, Evie was a sponsor. And of course, Evie makes a fantastic speaker, and they won several categories, which led to people going, oh, this has got to be foul play. Well, they won years they didn't sponsor it too. So, maybe they just make a great speaker. And here's where I'm going to go with that. These are the brands that were present. Evie had a salesperson present. And by the way, no offense, Paul. He's the Evie salesperson. I love Paul, but he's a sales guy. Technically, me and him are on different universes, right? He's not going to have any ability to influence my tests, period, no matter what. Again, no offense, Paul. I love you, but you and me, we're not the same. Anyway, and RCF, the national sales manager from RCF was there. EAW had 3 or 4 guys there. Mackie had a guy there. And all of these reps at the end of this thanked me for such a fair and equitable platform to test speakers. I think that says a lot. Again, everybody that was there felt really good about it. The only people making noise were the people that weren't there. So and by the way, judges, that's an interesting question, right? So who are the judges? We also had to beg for judges. The judges were attendees. And we said, hey, here's the rules. You just need to be willing to listen to speakers for 3 hours, because we tested like 70 speakers or some crazy number. It was a lot of speakers, and you're not allowed to talk to any other judges, and you're not allowed to share your scores until you're done. We're like, look, if you want to take a picture of your score sheet and whatever afterward, we don't care. We just don't want anything to influence the judging as it's happening, right? No confirmation bias. Don't tell another judge, oh, I think number 2 sounded better. Keep your lips quiet, So we want, again, fairness was the name of the game. And for those curious, here's me, complete with the orange juice, because again, I was sick, administering the testing. Everything on my computer screen was displayed on a large TV for the entire audience and all the judges to see. So everybody had complete transparency of what was going to the speakers. It was the same signal being sent to every loudspeaker. Anyway, a lot of effort was spent to try to make this a, useful resource for DJs.
Sure.
Clean, fresh water, if you will. So now, DJs, do with it what you will. The toilet's just down the hall. Help yourself. Or a lot of people worked really hard for no gain, by the way, no gain. All right. I didn't get a single cent of that sponsor money, nor would I take it. Frankly, my integrity is, I'm a dealer for all these brands. Why do I care who wins? What difference does it make to me? Right. So, anyway, there it is. There's my rant this week. So, basically knock it off. You know, we need to be better than that. Simply, we as an industry, it's time to grow up. We need to be better than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the part. There's always going to be somebody who's going to complain about almost everything, and unfortunately, sometimes some of the best intention, best put together things draw some of the biggest heat and ruin it for others.
Well, and if you're not one of those folks, don't let it ruin it for you, right? And again, this is a minority of people,
Oh
by
yeah,
the way.
yep, exactly. Most
This
people,
is my those who, I mean, they're unfortunately, like you said, ruining it for a lot of other people. But uh, don't go to the toilet just because the other cat did. You know, there's a lot of people who worked really hard for no financial gain. I think the guys who put on the show actually lost money.
yeah.
Uh, I mean, and you know how that works.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah. We've been there, done that.
know? I think a lot of people think that, oh, everybody's on the take, and it's listen. I'm gonna tell you something that's really gonna hurt DJs. I know, because DJs, we love ourselves, right? And that's fine. I do too. But this one's gonna probably sting. We don't have enough influence. We don't move the needle. There's no big influencer deals out there, right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry. It's not really worth cheating,
Yeah,
you know? So a lot of people are trying to do things for the community they live in. For whatever reason, we all ended up here. We all love this industry, and some of us are just trying to make it a better place. And if you're one of those people, then that's fantastic. We love you. We welcome you with open arms. But I'll tell you, if you're not, if you want to try to make my neighborhood crappy, if you want to go, make life difficult for the other people that are trying to learn and trying to grow, then I'm going to be a problem for you.
for sure. All right, Ben, let's jump to our next segment here. All right, Ben, our final question for tonight's show. It's that time of the year again. People are wondering, what do I get for my favorite DJ? And the idea is that, say somebody had $100, they wanted to get some, either a little gift for their DJ in their life, or maybe doing some stocking stuffers. Do you have some suggestions of things that a working DJ would love to find under the tree this year?
I do. I think anything, honestly. I mean, DJs love gear.
There is,
there's
but
no,
we have somebody. But that's why we're trying to throw the $100 thing out there. We don't want to go crazy, because a $10,000 sound system would be awesome, but
well, and I'll tell you, because we have real humans that answer the phone, and Kyle's a great resource. He's got a wife, and he runs a DJ company, so I think he can empathize with all that. But your significant others, or whoever, can always call us, and we can also help with some tailored solutions. Of course, a lot of you, that's one of the great things about us being a small family company. We know you. We know what you're using. We know what you like. But anyway, let's just throw out some ideas for you. So,
yeah.
all right, let's take a look. This one I think has to be number one because it's really awesome. This is the second generation larger Platinum Series cable organizing bag, complete with the gaff strap you can see there, pocket for some adapters and things, and inside you have all these sewn in compartments. It's made out of kind of a nice tactical material, designed to be pretty sturdy, and all that. And you'll notice one of our hybrid cables there in the end. We made the end compartments bigger now to hold our hybrid cables.
Oh,
So there's a
nice.
variety of depths in there. Again, some adapters can fit in here. There's several pockets sewn in here. This was designed right here in Minnesota. Several of us took your suggestions and we put this together. And I think Kat's mom actually sewed a prototype or something. I don't know. Anyway, but
Nice.
this was my only contribution, was the gaff strap. But you're thinking, okay, well, that's all fine and well, but Ben, isn't this thing like $150 or something? Isn't this not in the $100 category? Okay, well, fine. Check this out. Use this coupon code TNWBS Tuesday night with Ben Stowe, and you will get it for just 99 bucks. 99 smackaroos will get you our cable bag.
Go to the website, of course, and then you can enter the coupon code when you go to check out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Other things. This bundle is $99. The DJ2Go 2 with carry case. And I think that picture might actually be the old version, but Anyway, I digress. Whatever. Just it's 99 bucks. So I think there's a
Yeah.
anyway. If you have trouble finding it, if you're the person gifting you has trouble finding it, just call up and say, "Well, Ben said there's a bundle for 99 bucks," and the staff will make it happen for you. They're like they're my little elves at the North Pole, so you know they don't want to make Santa look bad.
And truthfully, you are pretty close to the North Pole, so there is that.
We're awfully, yeah. Well, I'm not at the moment. I'm a little bit further
Yeah, you
south,
are,
but
but
yeah,
I
my elves are working hard.
yeah, they're
I'm
working.
working hard too, by the way. I don't know, but I'm down here actually working with our integration
Look at
team.
that.
So,
The
so
safety gear right there. Wow.
yeah, yeah. It's also the job site doesn't have electricity, so I'm working from a headlamp. It's
Well, there is
I'm not just another pretty face.
great little controller there though. I've actually I've had one of those that rides in that case in my backpack as a backup because
Yeah,
you never know. And it's a
never know.
little bit of security. You can go out of that and into powered speakers if you had to, and you could function at a high level.
Yeah, if you use it one time, it's going to be worth $100.
Oh, for sure. Good. That's a great deal because I paid when I bought my pieces long ago. Yeah, much more than that.
Well, like I said, I'm in the holiday spirit. Good set of headphones. These are the MTH 40s from Audio Technica. We've got several options. This is just indicative of one such model that is below $100.
Mm-hmm.
Again, feel free to give us a call, or if you're not the phone type person, that's great too. Just go to our website and you can click add to quote on some items, and we'll try to work out some special deals for you there too. So stretch those holiday dollars a little bit. I'm calling it my inflation busting plan. I don't know. I just
There you
made
go.
that up right now.
Yeah.
Very well thought out, right? This is, I mean, it's a slam dunk,
Yeah.
honestly.
I was wondering where it was going to be. It had to be in the top couple.
Yeah, and it's well less than the 99. It's going to leave you quite a bit left over. It's only $69, and it includes the carry case. It includes some test probes. It includes a user's manual that I wrote.
Woo!
So anyway, that's worth the $69, I think. But anyway, tests just about everything. I think it's an essential piece of gear. Everybody should have one. So
Mm-hmm.
got to have one of those. Let's see what else we got here.
Ooh,
Yeah, good set of monitor speakers.
nice.
These are small and inexpensive. The pair is only 99 bucks, and it's a great way for just practicing at home, or maybe just listening to tunes. Research, uh,
Mm-hmm.
or just jamming out. So
Or making your local post office, sound much better.
yeah, the post office does need these,
Yeah,
John.
yeah. That would be definitely rocking the post office.
And here's another one for you.
Mm-hmm.
Just a wired mic. A good handheld wired mic. Really solid idea to have that as a backup too. So if you don't have a wired mic, and there's lots of them to choose from, feel free to drop us a line. This is just a really great sounding dynamic cardioid mic here. I really like the ND76 and the
Mm-hmm.
76, but there's lots of other great options too. Love the E835 and several others. Again, one of the things I would suggest is, and this is a kind of thing, again, one of the benefits of having a small family run company that we can help you out with is I would match your wired mic to your wireless mic. So whatever the capsule you have on your wireless mic is, SM58, Beta 58, E835, whatever it is, we can get you a matching wired mic for that.
Sure.
And those are Santa's gift ideas.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. Some great stuff there, Ben. And of course, if they pick up something, they can always add some platinum cables to their order, or they can add some gaff tape, which of course is something that all DJs could use.
That's a good point, John. And the Platinum Series cables are the gifts that keep on giving because we guarantee them forever.
Ever.
So, yeah,
Take them to the
it's amazing.
parades.
We had some out at Harvest of Sound in Boston, and it's just amazing. We had a couple pieces of it cut and stripped so you could see what was inside of it.
Yep.
And people were just like, oh my gosh, like this is real. Like I thought this was all like smoke and mirrors and, all cables are the same. And they look at these and they're like, this is way different. We're like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just if you're not a believer yet, you just need to get one. That's all
Mm-hmm.
I'm to tell you.
Yeah, those are the ones that we've been replacing over the years because it's an investment, but it's an investment that pays because you buy it once. There's that buy once, cry once, isn't that it?
That is it. Yep.
Yeah,
Buy once, cut once.
and this is truly one of those things, is that you buy them, and like the boys, that's the show that they want. They were like, yeah, we'll take all those, and we don't have to worry about cables.
Jamie Bodie had a fantastic presentation at Harvest and talking
Mm-hmm.
about financial security and financial, austerity and whatever. And you might think that being a guy who sells gear for a living, that I would not be a fan of that. To the contrary, I'm a huge fan of that. I want financially successful customers. I want financially stable customers. I don't want people to buy things just because, we need to make a sale. That doesn't do it. I mean, that's short-term thinking, right?
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
That's predatory thinking. That's like being like a parasite. No, no, no. So I will tell you that our Platinum Series cables are an outstanding investment in cables because, as Jamie Bodie said really well, when you're poor, everything costs you more because you buy cheap stuff that breaks and you buy it 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
So for far less money, you can buy our Platinum Series cables once and make a great investment that will last you your entire career.
Yeah.
And I know you're thinking, well, yeah, you're just saying that because you want to sell your cables. No, listen, think about it. Just think about it. What is the cost of ownership of that? It's very low. It's pennies an event when you break it down.
Yeah.
Because when you can afford to buy good stuff, it will last you a really long time. And ours, it's guaranteed. It'll last you forever.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally guaranteed. It will last you forever. I mean, okay, there's a technicality there because, if the world comes to an end, I mean, sort of counting on the fact that you're not going to be able to call me on that. But until that time,
right up until that moment.
Yeah, right up until that moment. Yeah. I mean, just as the asteroids are coming in, we'll still send you an RMA, so.
Exactly. And then be like, oh, you're just too late. Sorry. Good stuff. Well, thank you, Ben. Again, go out to the website and you can use the promo code, the Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe acronym,
TNWBS.
And you can get the cable bag. I thought that the end one was for 100-foot cable because that's what I put in.
Oh,
I put 100 in there. Yeah. I've got my 50s, and then I have some 25s in there also. But I thought, oh, look at I didn't even think about the multi use that the dual cable there. Oh, it shows you how much I pay attention sometimes. I found something I liked, and it's like, oh, look at this. Well, they were really smart. They made this big gap, or big chamber for the big cable. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's that too, right? I mean, it's, obviously the hybrid cables were the driver for that, but yeah, this is the same thing. When you get to the, the narrow compartments and you got a 100-foot cable, it didn't fit. And people told us, like, it doesn't fit. And we're like, that's a problem. So,
yep. So let's put it on the end and have a spot for the hybrid cables or the 100-foot. Yeah. Great stuff. All right, gang, we're going to bounce tonight. Up next, DJNTV.com/chilled is the Tuesday Night Music Show where they do the recording of their weekly show. It's a Zoom room. You can pop out there and hang out with Brian and Jay and Eric and John. And there's a whole crew of folks out there. And after they're done with the recording, then they open it up and they talk until the wee hours of the morning. So you can go hang out and have some fun with the crew there at the Tuesday Night Music Show. And we'll be back again. Let's see, we've got 2 more shows, I think, before we get to our Christmas break. So we'll be back again next Tuesday night. Good night, everybody.